What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be showcasing a Shadow Malamar team in the Open Great League. Shadow Malamar, in previous seasons, has been one of my favorite picks. It's a very flexible Pokemon. It does kind of suffer against the bug bite users, but I think now in this current season, with Shadow Kanto Ninetales being so strong, as well as potentially Mimikyu kind of shifting the meta a little bit away from bug-type Pokemon, I think Malamar has quite a few targets, and I'm excited to see what it can do. Real quick, before we get into the battles, I do want to ask if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what Malamar can do. Alright, first opponent of the day, Shadow Kanto Ninetales into Shadow Swanna. Oh boy, that's not a great lead matchup here. Let's get out of there. The classic early game frame drops here that we see on this newest update. It's not amazing right now, but I think at least I can still whittle down the Swanna quite a bit. I should get to 2 attacks here, guaranteed. And if I get rid of this Pokemon, my backline's going to be a little bit more happy. Because honestly, Shadow Swanna is a little bit of a nightmare for both Ninetales as well as Jumpluff. My fast food pressure is hurting quite a bit against them. We'll see if they're going to go for a shield. They do. That makes sense. They're 2 away from the next Aqua Jet here. We'll go for the move right before they get their next one. And I don't know exactly what I want to do at this point, but if they farm us down, that could be a little bit scary. In fact, they're going to be going for the farm down. But I guess maybe that's not the end of the world here, because I put them down low enough that potentially I can even go for just an Ember down with Ninetales. I don't know what they'd have in the backline here. I think that I would get one shot by an Aqua Jet, though, so I will shield this up. I could have come in with my Jumpluff here and hoped for, like, a catch on an Aqua Jet, but Fly also would have done a lot of damage, so we'll see what happens here. Oh, this is the wrong Ninetales. Good to know, I guess. I need to double-check that later on. Try to go for a catch, doesn't... Oh, okay, maybe it worked, I don't know. I wish I had Energy Ball, I'm not gonna lie. That would help out a little bit against Diggersby. Anyway, Psyshock is the moveset of choice here for us, because why not, I guess. But we save a lot of energy there. They do Fire Punch us, but it takes 4 Fire Punches to knock out a Jumpluff, so I'm kind of surprised to see that. And a CMP here, okay, I don't really know what's happening right now. They must be kind of scared of Jumpluff, I would have to imagine. Potentially, like, what if Psyshock is useful this game? What if I have something in the backline that having Psyshock for is actually just a benefit? Who's to say? It could happen, right? But they were crazy. They would have let me get 2 energy balls off against them with my Ninetales, say, if I had that moveset, that is. But alright, they're going to go for their next move here. They should be 3 away minimum from their next Fire Punch, so I should be able to get my energy ball off before they get their next move through them. We'll see if they stay in or not. Okay, so we get the knockout against Diggersby. I have like 100 energy on Ninetales, and I would imagine... Okay, we actually just won. Let me change my Ninetales to the right moveset, though. Alright, next opponent. Now that we have Energy Ball, surely this game's gonna go even more smoothly. Although, that is a little bit of a scary lead. I will switch out. I am a little bit worried with the Shadow Primeape here. There is a good chance that they're on Ice Punch later on for my other guy. I couldn't really count super well thanks to the beginning of the match frame drops. I don't know if that's 4 or 5. I think there's only 4, which would be a Rage Fist, so luckily we call that. Alright. I'm gonna go for the superpower here. Toucannon is a little bit scary, but honestly, I think we're not in that bad of a spot. It could be like double flying, and I don't really like that if that's the case. They're at 6. Yeah, they do farm us down before I get my next move. But I should be able to come in here with my Ninetales and maybe just build up a lot of energy. 10. They're at back-to-back attacks right now. Obviously, I'm going to shield this up. If I can double shield and farm down, I'd be pretty happy here. Beak Blast. Okay, well, that's weird. I don't think that's the right play. Because now I can just go for the Weather Ball and guarantee to outpace them. It's not like I can't still knock out that Primeape with a Weather Ball, right? So, kind of surprised to see that play. Oh, they shield that. I don't know what's happening right now. Oh! Okay, so they did do 5. They did 5 earlier. That's good to know, I guess. I didn't know that. Is this a close combat? No, well, no, it can't be. It's only a Rage Fist, but I don't love that necessarily. But this is maybe still fine. I'm going to fully undercharge this. I thought they were 4 away from a Rage Fist there, but yeah, the newest update of Pokemon Go, for some reason there's some big frame drops at the start of every battle. And that made it so I couldn't quite see the fast attacks coming through them. They could bring in the Toucan. Oh, they don't. Wait, isn't this good that they bring this in, though? Because I survive whatever move they throw here first, right? I always no-shield this attack, and then I build up enough energy to outpace the Toucannon to an attack. I know that 1 Energy Ball probably doesn't knock them out here from a non-Shadow Jumpluff, but that's fine. They're swapping in, so I think we just snipe them down here straight up with an Energy Ball. And this should still knock them out, right? I think they top-lefted. They did. Okay. Interesting game. That's a bit of a crazy team. Next opponent. Let's see if Ninetales can win a lead. It would be interesting, right? Ninetales into Fearow. Okay. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a 1 lead, but it's not a bad lead either. The best thing about it is I do outpace the Weather Balls here, and over time I do one-shot by going for Weather Ball here. So I think that if they stay in, I can win the 2-shield matchup pretty comfortably. And getting rid of this Pokemon so my Jumpluff doesn't have to deal with it is also pretty nice. All right, they're over-farming a little bit here. They're at 6, so 1 past the Drill Run. I will shield this up because I want to make sure I don't just get knocked out here immediately. I want this thing to be in farm down range, so if I do... Oh, they Drill Peck, I guess, in case I catch. But I just want to make sure that this Fearow is not that big of an issue for us. All right. Well, that's good to see. Hello, Quagsire. We're patient enough that we're able to go for the Energy Ball here instead. And what was that moveset? It is Mudshot, okay. I mean, I would imagine it would be, but I've seen some crazy people run other movesets. We'll see what moves they're going to have here as the charge attacks, though. It could be on Stone Edge. I think that's almost always the case in the Open Great League, but yeah, it is. That's fine. Because they are not going to get a second one before I get my double Energy Ball. They do actually go for the CMP here, which is kind of a smart play. But the problem for them is that Fearow is so low on HP at this point that even an Energy Ball from my Jumpluff probably would knock him out. And they're not quite yet at their next move. They should be at 4 Pecks right now. So I should be in a pretty good spot, actually. We'll make sure... Oh, well, what do they come in with? Okay. Well, luckily, we can just bank up some energy here. And I should survive a Bulldoze here, too. Interesting that they come in with this. I have a lot of energy on Jumpluff, and while I don't really have a lot of wiggle room for my Malamar this game, I think we don't necessarily need it. All right. But Weather Ball's not going to knock out here, which will make things, maybe a little bit more dicey. But I think we're still fine. Because Malamar is going to be able to put in a lot of work once we land this Weather Ball here. Yep, they're at 5. I think Jumpluff just closes out this game, right? So I'm going to shield this up. And if they want to come in here with the Fearow, they can, but I don't think a Drill Peck knocks us out. Maybe they Bulldoze debuff us. That would be like the one way of them having some play here. They do Bulldoze, but they don't get the debuff. Now I have a lot of energy on my Jumpluff. I have a lot of energy on Malamar. I survive this Drill Peck. I get the farm down. And I think Malamar plus Jumpluff should close out this game pretty easily at this point. We'll see what they bring in. I have a Foul Play loaded, so if Quagsire comes in, I just go for the swap out into the Energy Ball. And now I have a move ready for the Tinkaton later on. Or I could even just go for an Acrobatics, which I think also knocks out the Tinkaton from this range. Alright, big one-shot into the Quagsire. Tinkaton comes back in, but, I mean, even though it's resisted, Acro, like, even Energy Ball probably would be enough, but Acro definitely knocks out. It's such a strong attack, right? So we get the KO here, and luckily, despite the fact that I don't say I would love the Fearow into Ninetales lead, it's not bad. But the backline especially was just so good for Jumpluff. Alright, next opponent. We'll see Ninetales as our lead into Shadow Fortress. Alright, pretty good lead matchup, I'd have to say. Okay, well, that's also a pretty good swap-in, I'd have to say. This game's going well so far. The only problem is, since I am reliant on my charge attack pressure here, it's not like I can farm them down super easily. But because I do have Energy Ball, this matchup is so much better than it used to be back in the day, and Discharge does nothing to us. I'm just going to build up as much energy as I can here. But I think I do need 2 Energy Balls to knock them out. They do win CMP. That makes sense. They're at 2 right now, so they're 3 away from their next Discharge. And if I can ever land an Acrobatics into that Fortress, that would be a lot of damage. We don't quite know the moveset of that Fortress just yet. But I also know for a fact I kind of need to make sure my Malamar stays away from it. So I guess we'll see how it's going to play out here. I wouldn't mind taking another move here if I can. Okay. Looks like they are just building up a ton of energy. The main reason I wouldn't mind taking this damage is because then they get less farm on that Fortress, right? Big Discharge. What the heck, dude? Okay, well, they're trying to get more farm. Alright, that's a smart play, too. That is a very smart play. They're gonna now get a big Bug Bite down against us with that Fortress, but, I mean, at least I win Switch still, right? And even if they do go for a Rock Tomb into Ninetales, it's not gonna do that much damage, right? But we'll see what they have in the backline. That's always the big question here. I do get an Acrobatics to land, which is really nice. Actually, wait, that's even better. They shield that up. I think that might be a bit of a misplay on their part. At least I get an Energy Ball through, which, I mean, that's not going to do anything to a bug in Steel-type, but, I mean, now I can shield my Ninetales and invalidate a lot of the energy that they got here. And that's nice, I guess. Ninetales comes in. They'll probably go for a charge attack here, but I mean, no reason not to shield this, saying they've already gone down a shield. I can swap into Malamar, hope for something in the back that doesn't hard counter us, and we'll see what they have. Okay, that is not a hard counter. That is, in fact, something that we beat. I like to see that. Luckily, Shadow Malamar, instead of regular Malamar, does, I think it's 3 damage per Psywave here, rather than just 2. So my fast move pressure actually really just adds up. Alright, big Scorching Sands. We survived that super easily. I guess I'm going to go for a Foul Play bait. They likely call this, but even if I get this no-shielded, then they're going to be in range where a Weather Ball knocks out, and Ninetales should be able to finish off this game. Yeah, they do let it go. But we have the next one ready, so they literally have to shield this. If they don't, they just get Embered down. Ninetales beats the Fortress. Malamar has done its job. Or if they do shield, then I mean my Ninetales still just closes out the game, right? Yeah, they're in Weather Ball range. Ow. Let's get out of there before we get bug bitten down. Luckily, we saved our Malamar, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I think Ninetales is just going to close it out. 1 Weather Ball here. We're 2 away from the next Weather Ball. And I don't even know if a Scorching Sands would knock us out from this point. Diggersby is not known for its offense. You know what? Let's test it. I don't think it would. It'll probably put us down pretty low, but I think we do survive at least somewhat comfortably. Yeah, I mean, not even within 1 fast move, I can go for the Energy Ball. Nice. All right. Well, it was a bit of an RPS team they had, but luckily my team RPS theirs. Amazing. There we go. Next opponent. We'll see if we can get another good matchup here. A lot of good matchups so far for Ninetales. But the Clodsire, I'd say, is not the best matchup to see. I'm going to bring in my Malamar here, because Malamar is generally pretty safe into this. Shadow Corviknight, that's awesome. I wonder what move they're going to throw into us. The Clodsire is actually going to put in quite a bit of work into us, though. I am a little bit scared about that. Foul Play is probably going to hurt quite a bit. It does, but I'm not quite sure if I can, like, farm down or anything. Really good counting there, wow. I'm going to let this go. It could be a mistake. It's an Air Cutter, nice. Okay. I'm fine with that. We can shield this one up, and likely we can get some shields back into the backline, whatever they might have. Air Cutter would knock us out from here, so that's why we shield. They do boost, which actually probably means they're doing 1 extra sand attack damage right now. I don't necessarily love where this is going, but we'll see what happens. We get a no-shield, actually. Interesting. Well, what's in the backline, then? Uh-oh. I don't love to see that. I'll go for the superpower here, though. I do. They just have so much play into my other 2 Pokemon. I'm going to switch into Ninetales now. At least I survive a Drill Run, so I should get an Energy Ball off. So I'm going to let this go. We'll see if a Jumpluff and, like, a 1 HP Malamar can put in work in the backline. Okay. Well, how much damage do I do with a Weather Ball here? Where's my Psyshock? Where is my Psyshock Ninetales? I don't know if I survive this Poison Sting, but if I do, I get my next move, which would be nice. We'll see. I need to survive this, I think. Do I? I do, okay. This game's still gonna get really awkward, though. Guess, dude, I'm just gonna lose. Icy Wind after the Peck damage, that's gonna one-shot us. Like, the one way I have of winning is, like, Fairy Winding this down. But, like, they just switch out. They have a lot of energy here still, too. Man. They did not want to lose to a Jumpluff today. They triple counter Jumpluff. That's unfortunate. I mean, that does a lot of damage. I do technically survive. But not like... I think they just go for a second Icy Wind. They just survive my next move, right? They might even survive this one here. They no-shield. That might give us a little opening, actually. We'll see, though. Because I need to go for a full Fairy Wind down. And then, if I can Fairy Wind down, go double Energy Ball, maybe there's actually a chance here. But the fast move pressure is going to start putting in so much work, and I don't know after 2 debuffs, can I even Fairy Wind down? Oh, man, I think 3 Poison Stings probably knock out. That is as close as it gets. That's so unfortunate. Where's my pacing? Back in the day, Jumpluff could be 5-4 pacing, but being straight 5s is going to cost us here. We have the back-to-back, but it's not quite enough. That's unfortunate. That was not a great team comp to see for us, but we almost made it come back from that. And that's fine. I'm happy with how that one went. Still a 4-1 set here, and surely the next one will be better. All right, next opponent. Ninetales into Lumineon. Dude, okay. Well, let's switch out here. I bet Malamar has a lot of decent play into this matchup. Better play if they don't have Silverwind, which I don't know if you run that. You probably don't. Yesterday, I saw a Blizzard Lumineon. I'm kind of surprised they haven't thrown energy yet, though. They're at 6 right now, so they do have access to, like, back-to-back Aqua Tails. I'm going to throw, like, on alignment myself here, because I feel like they kind of have to throw them. So now I either get a shield or a knockout against them. I'm kind of surprised they're staying in like this. They're also on Gust. Honestly, is Gust even that bad for Ninetales? Hold on. Maybe I should have stayed in the lead. If they don't have the Silverwind, though, I should just survive this. And I think if they did have Silverwind, they would have thrown it already. Oh my goodness, Malamar, you menace. How can I do that? Do I get a move off, maybe? That'd be so amazing if I did. Okay, wow, okay. This is what I wanted to bring in, yes. I think we're fine here. There is that other glitch here with the new system, where if you're tapping the charge attack button, and you get farmed down by a fast move, you just, like, instantly swap out. Almost could have been bad, but luckily I brought in the right Pokemon there. Alright, next game, Ninetales into Pangoro. Alright. Well, depends on the backline, but I don't hate this lead necessarily. I can outpace here to Weather Balls. At least before close combats. And they throw after 5. Do they instantly send here? I'm going to shield. I don't think they do, though. Oh, they actually do. Nice. So I shield a nuke for once in my life. And we have a Malamar that is pretty good, even down shields into Grumpig, with how quick I was on the counter swap here. I'm going to go instantly for the foul play. We know at this point this should be able to knock him out. And I'm thinking at this point there's a good chance it could be a Tinkaton or maybe an Aegislash in the backline. Oh, this is going to be nasty. I think I might get a full farm down here. They should be 11 away from their next Dynamic Punch. So if that's the case, then I should get a big farm down and have energy ready for that Pangoro when it comes back in. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case here. Literally almost a perfect farm down. Pangoro can't really come in. Yeah, big Tinkaton. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have thrown this immediately, but we did, for fun. And, I mean, the main thing is, Tinkaton, while it is good into Jumpluff, it's not that good, right? I'm going to get his shield here guaranteed, and with the energy that I have, I'm going to chip down the other guy quite a bit, too. They have to go close combat to knock us out. I still have a lot of HP on Malamar. This game should be over. Weather Ball should get a knockout. That's a lie. It's going to get a lot of damage, though, if it lands. Yeah, they do let that go. I think I can just one shield farm down, though. I think they get knocked out by that Ember, so, I mean, just shield this up. Go for the Weather Ball, get the final shield, and then either Superpower or Acrobatics should close it out. Yeah, close combat makes sense, saying they don't get to 2 moves. But I have another Weather Ball ready. And am I even in range? Or a Bulldoze knocks me out. Do I even need Acrobatics? Or do I need my Jumpluff rather this game? I don't think I do. I think Ninetales is all we need. Yeah, we get the next Weather Ball. Ninetales is too spammy. Ninetales might just be the most broken Pokemon in this meta. It's hard to say sometimes. But, I mean, Malamar also put in a lot of work here. Jumpluff, I guess, gets to take the day off. We'll take it. Alright, Ninetales into Ninetales. That's fine. I guess don't really have a hard answer to this, so seeing this in the lead is always pretty nice. I wish I had Scorching Sands here. Or Psyshock. Hold on, maybe I gotta go back to Psyshock. I kind of miss it. But we can at least bait a bigger move. Or, at the very least, chip him down with Weather Balls. It's gonna be a long and drawn-out matchup here. But they're at back-to-back Weather Balls themselves. I feel like the play in this matchup is always just build up energy just in case they do switch out. That seems like a good idea. Weather Ball, so no crazy moveset from them. They are now at 7. I guess if they have a Scorching Sands here, they could still throw it. Imagine baiting the first move just to make it so my guard has been lowered for the second move. No, okay. But we have our next Weather Ball. Guys, this matchup is like almost as boring to talk about as like the Lickitung mirror match back in the day. Like, what am I supposed to say about this? You just keep on chucking moves. Maybe the next move we go Energy Ball? Did we both do that on CMP too? That would be kind of cool. Wouldn't be surprised. Energy Ball does do a little bit more raw damage, which is why I'm throwing it. They went for the No Shield and the CMP. I don't know what they're going to throw here. Either way, I'm going to switch into Malamar. They Weather Ball us. So, I mean, I did like 1 extra damage. I'm so good at this game. And Kingdra. Okay. Kingdra is not necessarily a bad Pokemon to see. Is that just a Swift? Hold on. That might just be a Swift coming through. I put enough damage, I think, on the Ninetales to put them into Fairy Wind downrange later on. I wonder if it's a jump up in the backline on their part. I have seen that team quite often in this season. I wouldn't be super surprised if that were the case. We get 1 shield there. I think we might get a second shield, because I should get my next foul play right before they get their next move. So either I get a shield, or I put a lot of damage into them. Malamar's put in a lot of work so far. But Kingdra is generally a Pokemon that Jumpluff is good into, so it's like, I don't know necessarily how I want to play this out. They do throw energy here. You know what? I'm just going to invest fully in a 2-shield Jumpluff. I have a catch on my Ninetales if I need it, but we'll see if they have like a second fire type in the backline or something crazy. They let that farm down happen. That's good. Mimikyu. Okay, that's playable. Okay, well, thank you, game. Anyway, this doesn't matter. I hope. Normally waiting a turn works there, but that might have just been my brain's short-circuiting. Not gonna lie. But we still have that shield advantage. So we go just Energy Ball, double Acrobatics. And then we should win. We'll see if they shield this up. If they shield this up, that's actually a bit of a misplay, because then all I have to go for is another Energy Ball. All right. We bust their disguise. That's cool, I guess. But I'm not even in range where like a Shadow Sneak knocks us out. That's the big problem for them. We'll see how they play this out, though. Maybe they're going to go for a play rough just to try to sneak it through the shields. No, they go Shadow Sneak, which does make sense. All right. Shield this up just for good measure. But even if they do land a play rough, as I was saying, I'm not in range where that knocks us out yet. Big Shadow Sneak. And now we just go for Acrobatics here ourselves. I think their win condition right now is trying to call an Energy Ball bait, but they probably shield this up anyway and just make us play this out in the long term. Yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing. Because they know they will get another Shadow Sneak off against us. But, like, that's not going to knock us out. I'm a Jumpluff. I could try a catch here, but I don't really see a reason to. They don't throw on CMP, so yeah, we're just fine. Acro gets the KO. Mimikyu goes down. Despite us not letting or not avoiding the catch, because I'm bad at this game sometimes, we still win. GG's. All right, next battle, Shadow Ninetales into Morpeko. I would imagine this is pretty good in the 2-shield matchup, right? They can go for just straight Psychic Fangs here, and that would be able to make it so they could get to a 3rd attack against us, but if they do that, they're just going Psychic Fangs. I'm fine with that. They let that go, okay. Do I farm down here if they bait us? I don't know if they bait us, I don't know. If they nuke us, I think I do. Well, they do bait us, which is annoying. So I need to get a move off here. Or I need to knock him out here. And I don't think I would with that next Ember. I'm going to play it safe and go for this Weather Ball. I don't know. Maybe I could have. Maybe I should have gone for it. They shield. They do. Okay. That's fine. I can shield another time and farm down. Yeah, that Ember doesn't knock out, so it's a good thing I threw. I'll just double shield here. I'll have a little bit of energy coming out of this matchup, and I got rid of Morpeko, which I don't want to see with my Malamar. So I am happy about that. Down goes Morpeko eventually. We are at -1 defense here, so we'll see if we want to switch out at some point. Yeah, we don't want to stay and give a farm down over. Malamar should be pretty good there. That's scary. We'll see how that's gonna matter. They're at 5 right now. I am 1 away from a Weather Ball, though, on my Ninetales, and I don't know if a Drill Peck knocks us out. Oh, let's go. I think that's a throw by them. They didn't build up as much as they could. 1 more peck, and I would have been in trouble. But they threw a little bit too soon. Unless they get, like, a perfect undercharge. So just 1 away. Nice. Okay, now the Yuvis has to go for a Mud Bomb to knock us out. And then just 2 Energy Balls from my Jumpluff should win us the game. I kind of misplayed this game. If I built up to an Energy Ball, or rather a Weather Ball before switching out, then this game wouldn't have even been down to the wire there. It would have just been like a guaranteed win. But, you know, sometimes you gotta make things feel a little bit more dicey just for fun. They will knock out my Ninetales, but I think once they see the Jumpluff, they're gonna realize there's really not much they can do here. 2 Energy Balls knock out, and it takes like 4 discharges, as we've seen earlier on. Yeah, there we go. GG's. All right, next opponent. Let's see if we can get a little bit less of a scary lead matchup here. Florges. Is that good for us? I actually don't even know. Oh, Jumpluff walls Florges if it's on the conventional moveset, just saying. But I can outpace here to moves. This is interesting. I'm happy to get this away from my Malamar. And if they want to go down shields here, they can be my guest. Because as I was saying, I do wall them off with my Ninetales pretty well. Or my Jumpluff, that is. We can go for the no shield here. 2 Chilling Waters will knock us out, but I get at least 1 attack into them first. And they can never farm us down. So I'll just go for the Weather Ball now. Our opponent is 1 away from the next Chilling Water. I do wonder if there's ever a reason to shield at least once here. But I don't think a Weather Ball knocks out anyway, so I'm not quite sure. You know, I'm going to shield this. I feel like it could be a decent play to go for. Because if I shield this up, then I can guarantee to land this, and then maybe it's a little bit easier for my Malamar in the backline to just guarantee this thing's not going to be around. Or if I get another shield, that's pretty great. Okay, I should be able to farm this down before they get another move off. Nice. I save a little bit of energy and HP on my Ninetales there. Charge Bug comes in. You know, one might think this is a really bad matchup for Malamar, but it's honestly not as bad as you'd expect. I have a shield, I have the energy lead, so I can always go for 2 foul plays here before they can get the second X-Scissor off. So either I get a shield or a knockout into them. Oh. Okay. That's also fine, I guess. Wasn't really expecting that, but this is good, I think, as long as we're careful with our energy. 5, they have to shield this, and that's not amazing for them. I'm not even in Aqua Tail range, which I think is probably the worst case scenario for them right now. They have to go for a Mud Bomb or a Stone Edge to KO us. Or that, I guess, works too. They don't realize how quick Malamar can be. We get the foul play off. This should knock him out. And then it's just a Charge Bug in the back line. Can I even just swap to Ninetales here and not even show my Jumpluff again? Jumpluff might get to take another game off. Oh, no, I'm actually off on my energy. Never mind. Never mind. They get to see my Jumpluff. This is tragic. I thought I was, like, 3 away from a move. And I also thought I wasn't going to get Volt Switch down. Anyway, Acrobatics knocks him out after the tactical Emperor chip damage that we got into them. Big X-Scissor. But they need 3 of those, plus some Volt Switches to knock us out. And they know it. GG's. Dude, this team's working out so well. What the heck? Like, Ninetales, I haven't used a lot of Ninetales this season. Same with Malamar. Those two are just so good together, I think. Oh my goodness! Wait, that's a 5-0 set. Yeah, they're really good together, I would say. Cash that in. What do we get up to? 2800s, 2802. That might be my new season high. Shadow Malamar was a pretty fun Pokemon to use. I think it's a pretty good meta call right now. Mimikyu has really shifted the meta quite a bit. There's a lot of normal types around. There's a lot of Pokemon in general that Malamar has a lot of great matchups into, so give it a go if you have one. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.